A constructor is a special type of function, guys. Function which is having same name as a class name. What is your class name and your constructor? Nothing but the method name. That's also a function. A constructor is also a function. It will do some task for us, which is having same name as a class name. So this is the constructor manually. We have a default constructor also. The default constructor, if we can check this is going to be the same, guys. Default constructor, if we can see, this is the predefined underscore construct, construct. Constructor is a predefined function. So in a class, we can define this public function. We can define something like this underscore construct. And in the same manner, underscore destructor also. destruct. Now you can take something called destruct. Destruct. These two are the predefined. But we can create our own constructor that is nothing but our class name as a method name. Sir, why should I use a constructor here first of all? See, by using this constructor, we can create an object. Actually, we are creating object yesterday's session. In this session also, you can check this. We are creating an object here. Do you remember? Yeah, this is object creation. This is called constructor, right? So with the same name, we are going to create one function inside a class. Then that is called constructor. Class name and method name. Is there any method with sample? So there is a class called sample. We have two properties and one method. What I'm saying you, class name and method name is same, then that function act as a constructor function, right? The constructor function gets called automatically. The constructor function, whatever it may be, that may be predefined, that may be manual constructor, gets called automatically at the time of object creation. This is the point we have to tell you. Object creation, at the time of object creation. The constructor function gets called automatically at the time of object creation. In the same manner, the destructor function is there now. Destruct function, right? The destruct, destruct. The destruct function gets called automatically at the time of class execution completed. Class execution completed. This is very important point. Remember this carefully. What exactly a constructor will do for us, what exactly a destructor will do. See guys, see, I need database connection. For example, your class, you are creating a class. That class may contain 10 to 15 methods. Let's assume 10 to 15 methods. In this 10 to 15 methods, we need database connection, right? Remember why we are using constructor, frankly says, if you think that some logic is going to be reusable in each and every of your class method, then the logic should be kept into the constructor. Whatever the logic we are writing inside a constructor, that is going to be reusable by each and every method of your class. I will show you a practical examples also, so that you will also get more clarity what exactly a constructor will do. And this constructor will call, when it will be called? At the time of object creation, that will get called automatically. See, I connected here, guys. Let us assume I connected to DB. Once my class execution completed, I have to close my database connection now, right? This is destructor will be called. After executing all the 15 methods completion, then destructor function will get called automatically. Remember carefully, we have a class contain 15 methods. So the 15 methods, if you want to access, if you want to do some logic which is going to be reusable in all the 15 methods, then we will write some logic in the constructor. Whatever the logic you written in the constructor, that is available for all the 15 methods. Once after execution of all these methods, this destructor function will be called automatically. And here what we can do, we can close the DB connection. So here we are connecting to database and we are closing the database connection here. Once the database connection is completed, once your execution, once your task is completed, we don't want database connection alive, right? We have to close the connection, right? That type of logics we can write into the destructor. And you are thinking some logic, not only database connection, some configuration or whatever it may be, you are thinking some logic is going to be reused in each and every way. Then what you have to do, guys? Definitely, you guys needs to write that logic inside the constructor. Once all the things are completed, all the things are executed, you have to destruct some resources. Those resources we can write inside the destructor function, right? This is all about a constructor and destructor, guys. By using constructor, we can say we can allocate memory to the class members, guys. So what exactly we are doing, let me show you here. Let me create a class so that we will understand. So let us go to CI folder. This is our CI3. Here I'm saving my file as class1.php. You can create any name of the file, no problem. Right? This is class1.php or class2.php, class4 or whatever it may be. The name could be anything. So let me create a class. I'm going to create a class. Let me create a class called employee. As of now, we take in some sample test, something like this. This time I'm taking a class called employee class. What this employee class will do, it will add an employee, it will view the employees, it will delete the employee, it will update the employee. Let's assume by doing these 4 operations, I'm giving my name as employee class. Name of the class is employee. Why? I'm doing 4 operations which are related to employee. Let me write a function here. Public function, all of you try to see. Add employee, add emp. Okay, this is one method. I'm not doing anything, simply I'm writing adding employee. Okay, understand? Adding employee. So don't worry about it. We are not writing any logic, we are writing simply one method, right? Okay, don't worry. I'm going to write one more function, public function, view emp. So what is the meaning of it? View employees, guys. What is the meaning of it? Echo view employees. Done, guys. Right, the next thing here, one more method I'm going to take here, public function. Let's assume I'm creating different functions. What is a class? Collection of methods, right? I'm doing some functions and public function edit emp, and this is, I'm going to write something called echo edit employee. Okay, let's take this as a edit employee. Just I'm writing the labels only. I'm not implementing edit operations and delete operations. Just you have to understand the purpose of a constructor and destructor. Then we can go for a real-time example, right? First, try to understand what a class can contain. And this is the class. What is the method? Delete emp. This is method, right? Echo delete employee. Can you see this class contain 4 methods, guys? Definitely, whatever it may be, adding employee or view employees and delete employees, whatever. See the 4 methods, guys, we are having here. This is the 4 methods we have, right? If you want to access any of the methods, first of all, we have to create the object. Without creating object, we know that we can do anything. And one more thing, we know that all these adding employee, view employee, edit employee, delete employee needs to communicate with the database connection. Yes or not? Definitely they need some database connection. Without database connection, can I add an employee? Can I view the employees? Can I edit employee? Can I delete employee? Can I do other operation without database connection? No, we can do. So tell me please, how can we connect to database, guys? You want me to connect database here? Connection equal to MySQLi underscore connect. Okay, this method. So here I'm taking my connection information called localhost. I'll try to see. And my database username is root, no password, and my database name is 9AMOCT. This is my database name. This is what I'm going to give there. So for add employee, I made database connection. So I can easily insert a record now, right? Because we can add an employee. Why? Because database connection is there. Tell me one thing, please. Whatever the database connection you defined in add employee method, can I access this connection variable here? Is it possible? The connection, whatever the database connection I have there, can I access this database connection here? Is it possible? It is impossible, guys. Because here you connected. So this connection was in add employee method. So remember, this variable is going to be a local variable to add employee method. Can I access a local variable of one function into another function? Is it possible? Impossible. How can we access a local variable of a one method into another method? It is not possible, guys. Definitely, this database connection is not accessible to the view employee. Then what I need to do? Again, we need to do connection. Again, I need to do database connection. So here, what we will do? We will write select query, MySQL insert query. Sorry, MySQL underscore query. And in this, we have to pass $connection comma, and we are going to write insert query. I'm writing, I'm not executing anything. We have to write insert query. Okay, just so you can write this as an insert query. So here what I need to write after connecting, definitely I have to write MySQL underscore query. So what we need to do guys, here you have to write dollar connection as a parameter comma, here you have to write select query. You have to write select query. Something I'm demonstrating, I'm not writing any query, I'm not executing anything guys. So here we are inserting, here we are selecting in the same manner. I need to update the record also now. Here you can go there and what is the connection available? Here you have to write update query. And now you have to write update query. And what you need to do in this guys here, you guys need to write delete query. And now, right. So all four methods are requiring database connection. We know that all four methods are requiring database connection. Can you see if you are calling all the four methods at a time? So I'm going to create an object. I'm going to call add employee, view employee, edit employee, delete employee. So what happens if you can call the four methods? You are going to connect to database four times. So is it good thing? If your class is having 100 methods, will you connect to database 100 times? Is it correct way of doing? No, guys, we can't encourage this kind of stuff here. Definitely, we have to make a sense of doing here. So we know that database connection is going to be reusable in each and every method. Why should I hard code the database connection in each and every method? Why should I reconnect for every method calling here? So I don't want, guys. I want to connect up to database in one place. What is that one place, guys? Go there and the top of the page or bottom of the page, you can create a default function called public function underscore construct is a predefined function. So to this function, we have to write a reusable logic. So what is the database connection you are having here? This database connection you have to remove and you have to keep here. Right? So remove database connection each and everywhere. So I told you already, whatever the logic you are writing in the database connection, that is going to be reusable in each and everywhere of your class methods. Na? In your class methods, this database connection is going to be reusable. Now I'm removing database connection from each and every of your methods, guys. Now it is somewhat better than earlier. So what exactly we did in each and every, we connected to database in each and every method. Now that's okay. We are inserting data. We are selecting data, whatever it may be. Right? Tell me please. And here we are connected. I told you whatever the variable we are having inside a function, that is local variable. See this connection. Can I available inside this add function? No. Remember this connection you should make it public, right? Then what you can do, you can make it private also, or whatever it may be. I'm going to take private dollar connection. Remember carefully, private connection. I'm defining a global variable of a class. Private means, what is the meaning of private? That is available within the class only. Database connection, I'm making it as a private because I don't want to allow anybody to access my database connections. It is a private means, what is the scope of a private member? This is going to be within the class only. So tell me please guys, this is a variable available in a class. How can we access this class? How can we access that variable inside a method? We have to use this of connection. All of you try to see this of connection. What is this of connection, guys? See, one thing you have to understand. Here I have variables now. So you can see the variables here. So we have some variables here. How can we access these two variables inside a method? Tell me please. We assign some value. The only thing here, we did not assign any value for private connection, but that may be a public, whatever it may be. Or else you can take something null value also. Initially, database connection is null. There is no database connection initially. Right? How can we access a global variable into a method by using this keyword? Na? Yes, definitely this keyword. Remember, in place of this connection, we cannot write connection. We have to write this of connection. This is the way of utilizing the database connection in each and every method. Connection, there is no connection variable. What is a variable we have? $this of connection. How can we access this variable inside this? So for this variable in the constructor, when constructor will get called? At the time of object creation. Constructor will get called. At the time of object creation, this constructor will call. After constructing call, you are going to connect to DB, and before calling your class methods, your database connection is ready, right? So what happened now? So now you are going to use this of connection, and this of connection like this, you have to call the database connection, and you have to reuse the database connection like this. Wherever you want, you can just write this of connection. But for every method calling, remember, you are going to connect to one time only. In an entire class, you may have 100 methods. Remember carefully. You may have 100 methods, but you are going to connect to only one time to database connection. Once after executing all these class methods, guys, we don't need database connection, right? We have to close it now. So for closing database connection, where we can write, the closing database connection may be kept into public function underscore destruct. Destructor function we can keep inside. Right. Here, what I need to do, I have to close the database connection. To close the database connection, we have a predefined method, MySQL underscore close. To this, we have to pass the connection parameter. What happened? Remember, first in a constructor, I'm saying you, remember this point. For example, we have a class. Class contain how many methods, guys? Total methods. Here we have 6 methods, 4 employee methods. One is constructor, one is destructor. We have class 6 methods, guys. In these 6 methods, 4 are normal methods, 4 are EMP methods. Okay, 4 are EMP methods, and 2 methods are what is the 2 methods, guys? Constructor and destructor. These are the 2 methods. Remember carefully. When we are creating an object, remember, so by creating an object, who will call, guys? By creating object, who will call, guys? Constructor will call automatically. Constructor gets called. After that, so first method is completed now. So what is the first method is called? Constructor is calling. The remaining 4 methods will call, guys. Remaining 4 methods will gets called by using object. Okay, by using object only we have to call the methods. Otherwise we can't write object. Finally, after executing the 4 methods, you have the 6th method, right? What is the 6th method? Destructor will called. After executing, finally, destructor function will be called, guys. Remember, destructor will gets called. This is very important. You have to remember. See, by writing the destructor function and constructor function on the top of the page, remember carefully, wherever you can keep on the class, but constructor is always the first method is going to be called. After constructor, remaining methods will be gets called. At the end of it, destructor function will be called. By writing this destructor function on the top of the page, this won't get called automatically. Remember carefully, this won't get called first. See, whatever the methods order it may be, your constructor function gets called first. After that, your class methods. After that, this is going to be called. You want to show me a practical example here? Right, let us do one more class here so that it will be, because here you can do here also, because we made a connection. 1 minute. I don't want to execute this, just I'm keeping them into comment, otherwise it will be error now. We didn't write any insert queries and all, right? Let me keep, just I shown you how can we use it. And we have some echo messages now. See the echo message order, how the echo messages will be come into an order. Can you see, guys, here now? We have echo. Let me write a message connection. Right, just I'm writing a message connected. Okay, database connected. Here I want to write echo paragraph tag. See the messages order, the paragraph tags I'm printing, right? First we will call, this is going to be closed, I'm writing. Okay, let me write this as a closed connection. Closed is CLOSP closed, no problem. Here you can call add employee, view employee methods here. See the order of it, guys. Who is going to be called first? That's I'm going to show you now. Right, just that's enough. You want to call other methods also. You can call other methods. Paragraph tag open, paragraph tag close. Just I'm calling 2 methods, guys. Now come down. We are going to create an object, right? So go and create an object. So if you want to access the class members, definitely object should be created. Color obj equal to what is our class name? New employee. Employee object is created. By using employee object, can you see I'm not calling anything? I'm not calling anything. If you first time you can go and remove the these 2 methods also. I'm removing these 2 methods. So constructor destructor is not there. This is a plain class we have. I'm refreshing the page. What is my page name? Class1.php. Let me go and execute the file. Localhost ci3 dot class1.php is my file. I'm executing it. Can you see? Are you getting any output? You created object, but you are not getting any output, right? But can you go? I'm keeping this constructor and destructor. Do you know what happened? If you have a constructor and destructor, they will get called automatically. First, who is going to be called? What is the method I written in the class? First, I written destructor. After, I written constructor. By writing the destructor method on the top of the page, that won't get called first. Remember carefully. First, it will look for constructor. It will get called now. Can you see? Now, if we can refresh the page, constructor is gets called. Connected. Where you written the connected? Inside my constructor. Closed you written. Where you written? Closed was written in the destructor. Right. So, or else meaningful manner if you want, right? So closed destructor destructor. Let us write something called constructor here. Connected construct or constructor. Right, refresh the page now. Can you see The output will be something like this. Connected inside the constructor, closed inside the destructor. By writing the method on the top of it, that won't gets called. Now you can call the methods, guys. Now can you see? I didn't call any method right now. Let me call the method $obj of add emp. The same manner $obj of view emp. Yeah, I'm calling these two methods. So can you see what is the output order? Refresh it. Who is calling first? Constructor getting call of that adding employee, of that viewing employee. Finally, you are getting called destructor, guys. Did you see what is the method order? Right? If you are calling the methods automatically, they get called. The methods are getting called automatically without having any problem. Right. So finally, who is calling? Constructor is a predefined and destructor is also a predefined method. They gets called automatically, something like this, guys. This is how we can get called. Constructor call and destructor is also going to be called. But the methods are executing based on the order you are calling. But who is calling first? Constructor. Who is calling at the end of it? Destructor. In the middle, we can execute our class logic. See, for example, I connected to constructor. If you immediately execute the destructor, so I mean, what is destructor is doing? Destructor is the closing the database connection. For adding employee, you need database connection. You connected and you closed immediately. Then how can I add an employee? How can we view the employees? Is it possible? It is not possible, guys. That's the reason we have to. This is not our duty actually. Constructor gets called automatically, destructor gets called automatically. But when? That's important. Constructor at the time of object creation, destructor will call automatically at the time of class execution. I mean, all the methods are execution completed, then destructor will call automatically. In the destructor, we can write such a kind of closing logics. See, whatever the configuration you are doing in the constructor, those configuration we can close here. We can close here, right? That's what. Why I have to close? See, if you are not closing the database connection, too many people are connecting to your website, then too many database connections will be created. Then database will give you error. Too many hits to database and unable to connect to DB. Such a kind of error we will get when we are working with multiple users. I mean, a lot of users may come to our application, guys. Then it's a good thing to close your database connection. If you're not closing database connection, definitely the error will come. What is the error? Too many hits to database. Such a kind of error we will get. Too many number of connections to database. Right? We have to be very careful, guys. This is an example of how we can use constructor and destructor, and the way of calling also I told you. And what I told you here exactly, that is what I'm saying you. We have 6 methods, constructor and destructor, and 4 normal methods are there. First, by creating object, constructor will call. After that, we can call the remaining 4 methods. Finally, destructor will get called. After your class methods executed, destructor will call. If you are not calling the class methods, for example, you are not calling the class methods, guys. First, constructor will be called. If you can call the methods of your class, they will call. Otherwise, finally, destructor is going to be called automatically. If you can call, okay. If you are not calling, that's not the part of destructor. So what is a destructor? It will look all the methods executed or not. Even you can call, method will be executed, destructor will be called. If you did not call, constructor call and destructor call will be happen automatically. That's what exactly the constructor and destructor. Why we are using constructor and destructor? For the same cause, Java, .NET and everybody will use the same reason. What is the purpose of constructor and destructor in our PHP? The same Java and .NET also, guys. Nothing difference is there, right? Yeah, guys. So in next session, what I want to do, I will show you a database example. How can we connect data in an object-oriented style? As of now, we are getting data, we are inserting data in a procedural-oriented. Now let me show you how can we get data in an object-oriented style of getting data. That we will see in the next session, guys. Our next session will be on Monday. Guys, if you have any doubts, then please let me know.